Alright, what's up? I'm back with another showcase, and this one I'm particularly excited for because it's the only one that is a complete beat as opposed to just a loop. And I think it's some of the best music that I've made in my music making journey so far. So I'm excited to show that off. So first, I'm going to show off a tiny portion of it. Then I'm gonna break it down into its individual parts, show how I made each of them, and then I'm gonna go in and show the entire beat at the end of the video. So I'm not gonna waste any more time. Let's go. Alright, so I'm in FL Studio, and this beat is a little different because it's not just the loop. I have an entire beat created. I created this in a single day. You know, it kind of came on a whim. I wasn't actually trying to make a beat when I created it, but it just so happened to come out that way. Now, because I want to actually show off the individual parts, I'm going to show a specific section now. I'm just going to show off this section right here because it shows off most of pretty much the musical ideas that I want to portray in this beat. So let's go. All right. So first, I'm going to start off with the keyboard, which is the main part of this entire beat. I want to talk about exactly what happened that led to me doing this. So I was trying to test out FL keys. I was messing with the piano stuff. I was messing with the parameters. So I just wanted something playing in the background while I mess with the parameters so I could hear it in real time. You know, at first I did a scale, like a C major scale, but then I ended up making this sort of progression right here. You know, I thought it was catchy. So I believe the chords are C major, E minor, G major, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what chord this is. I'm not really familiar with chords like that. So I'll put it up on the screen once I figure it out later. But as of right now, I don't really know. And then I just have this little, bass underneath it. But obviously, in the actual beat, I played this section about 7 times, and then I played this section last. Oh, shoot. Change that. All right. So that's the keyboard, but in the actual song, I have this little thing right here. I'm just gonna mute it, everything else. I'm gonna solo it. And how I did that is I simply consolidated this keyboard sound, and then I went into the mixer, and I kind of added a little bit of distortion to it. These are the settings that I have. I don't know what it initially was, but I just distorted it a little bit. Guess I compressed it a little bit, and it made this sound. And I liked how it sounded, so I just combined it with this one. I thought it sounded nice, you know, kind of made everything seem a little more full as opposed to just having this. So that's the keyboard. Now the bass is pretty simple. It was pretty much the bass I was just showing, but it's actually a little bit different. It doesn't go like it's about a semitone, no, a whole tone higher than how I had it on the keyboard. So it goes like, and I just had an electric bass that pretty much did the exact same thing. And I'm gonna play them together. You know, I think the electric bass definitely adds, it definitely helps take care of some of the lower frequencies that, you know, the regular bass just isn't able to do. And now finally, the drums. I kind of try to make it sound like some sort of trap beat, but to be honest, I don't really dabble in making that kind of music. So it was kind of, it kind of sounds a little weird. I don't know if it sounds weird, but it's not the mark of a professional, is what I'm saying. So I have this. Let me see if I can. Okay. This is the hi-hat pattern I came up with. I think it sounds, you know, semi-decent. It does its job, essentially. And then, you know, obviously we just have the snare. It's pretty simple. But I also added a clap. And it's not a sample that I took from any of these things. It's not something I found online. It's something I made my own hands. I recorded myself clapping my hands at least like 5 different times, and I just combined it. I don't know why I added it. I just wanted something a little, I guess, personal into the, and you know, in this moment I was really trying to mess with like consolidating tracks, you know, combining stuff together. So I think that's another reason why I did that, because in the last video I was making like beatbox sounds. So I like the idea of like adding my own sound effects to these things. So it all comes together nicely like this. And finally, one part that I didn't show in this little showcase right here is this piano. It does whatever this is. This is how it would play out in the actual beat itself. I didn't really have a process when I was creating this. I just kind of created it until it sounded nice. But yeah, that is basically the breakdown of all these little things. I do have this one keyboard part right here though. Sounds kind of cool. I was trying to do slide notes on the chords. At the time I didn't really understand how to like slide an entire chord. I didn't realize that I had to, you know, like use like different colors and stuff. So I put in entire chords in here and it made this sound and I liked it. And, you know, as I'm about to show off the entire beat, you'll hear how I utilized it. So I'm gonna play the beat now.